In the beginning of the drama, we see our female lead Lian had brought her governor husband there to show him the dirty actions of his second wife Fong, that what kind of things she was doing behind his back. Meanwhile, the governor instead started getting angry at Lian herself, saying that you are always the one who keeps creating troubles. After that, he told her to wait for his own arrival and then left from there. Lian was thinking in her heart that right now I really feel like killing him immediately. But no, this is not the right time yet. I should wait for some more days. At night, the governor came and directly pointed a gun at the head of his second wife. And with this, the scene gets cut. Next day, this news got printed in the newspaper that the governor had died because of a disease. But we already know that those same people had killed him during the night. Meanwhile, the governor's son Dongfong, our male lead, also makes his entry. As soon as he arrives, he starts hearing rumors that ever since his father married Lian, she had only brought bad luck for him. People were even saying that Lian trapped his father for money and his death also happened because of her only. Hearing all this, he gets extremely angry at Lian. As soon as he comes, he directly starts choking her neck and says that you should also go to my father now. Because of you only, he died. But meanwhile, Lian tries to explain to him that things are not like what you are thinking. I did not kill him. Hearing her voice, he gets completely shocked. Actually, Lian was none other than Dongfang's ex-girlfriend. Seeing her again, he gets lost in memories of the past, remembering how happy both of them used to be in their life. They had even decided to get married. But one day, suddenly Lian broke up with him and left. After that, she never turned back again. On the other hand, Dongfong looked extremely furious and asked her, "Did you break up with me only so that later you could marry my father? Until you tell me the entire truth, do not even think about leaving from here." After that, Lian replies from the front that yes, absolutely. I broke up with you only so that I could marry your father. Anyway, I already knew that during college life you were very poor. I did not know that you were the son of such a rich father. Then as soon as I found out that the governor was rich, I married him. I only wanted money. Meanwhile, after saying all this, when she was leaving after telling him to forget her, Dongfong picks up the gun again and stops her. And at the same time, Mrs. Fong also sees both of them inside the room. Now she immediately understands that definitely something is going on between them. Dongfong looked extremely upset. He really felt like killing her right there immediately. Lian also tells him that if you want to kill me, then you can absolutely do it. And if you do not want to kill me, then forget whatever happened in the past and never think about interfering in my matters again after today. But meanwhile, he was only showing the marks of his wounds and says that whenever I used to get close to death, I only remembered you. I kept thinking through what kind of difficulties you might be going through, and because of that only, I was able to survive. After that, he grabs her and says that I only have two options now. One is that either I kill you, and before saying the second option, he forcefully starts kissing her. Meanwhile, Lian again tells him to forget her and leaves from there. But seeing the tears in Dongfang's eyes, it was clearly visible that he still loved Lian a lot. After 10 days, while walking on the road, Lian suddenly collides with a man. Her purse falls down, and inside it there was a very important locket for her. Meanwhile, while trying to pick it up, she even risks her own life. Inside that locket, there was not anyone else's, but her and Dongfang's photo together. Looking at it, she keeps thinking that now the matters between us can never get settled. Before that, she still had many things left to do. Here we can feel that somewhere in her heart, she still has feelings for Dongfong. She has still not forgotten him. Meanwhile, one man had been keeping an eye on Lian for a long time. In the next scene, she is shown with her best friend, whom she had asked to do an investigation. Right now, she still could not find out with which man Mrs. Fong was having an affair, but no matter what happens, she had already decided that she would definitely find out the truth. Her real target was Fong herself. She wanted to completely destroy the person whom Fong loved or whoever was in her life. What exactly this whole matter is, we will find out later. But for now, she had already made a full plan to destroy her. Meanwhile, the man who was keeping an eye on Lian gets caught by Dongfong. He asks him, what exactly are you trying to do and on whose orders? The man tells him that Mrs. Fong had ordered him to do all this. After that, Dongfong beats him and drives him away from there. On the other hand, Lian was also passing through the same street. As soon as she notices that blood was coming out from the injury on his hand, she comes in front of him and starts cleaning it with a handkerchief. But Dongfong again gets angry at her and says, what am I to you? Am I your husband that you are caring for me this much? Meanwhile, Lian gives him a clear reply that if there was any other person standing in your place, I would still do the same. Actually, she is kind-hearted. After that, Dongfong grabs her and asks her to tell him the truth about what game she is playing against his family. Because today Mrs. Fong had put a man behind you, so you must definitely be doing something suspicious. But meanwhile, Li Yun refuses and says not at all. After that, Dongfong starts checking her purse and says that you are hiding something from me. And inside it, he finds a photo of her with his father. Seeing that, he cannot stop himself from taunting her and says, wow, both of you really looked like a perfect couple. You both must have loved each other a lot, right? Meanwhile, when Li Yun tries to leave from there, his men stop her. On the other hand, instead of his father, now Dongfong was going to become the new governor. Very soon, the nomination ceremony was going to happen. After that, he comes close to her ear and says that you must be regretting a lot now that you should not have left me. He even starts giving her some money and tells her to just disappear from his sight forever. After that, Dongfong tells her not to ever show this unlucky face to him again. But meanwhile, Li Yun refuses to take the money and says that this amount is too little. And then she leaves from there. Because of the pain that Dongfong had suffered because of Li Yun, now he had completely decided to take revenge on her. He says in his heart that I will never let you stay happy in your life. Just remember this, Li Yun. Meanwhile, as soon as Li Yun reaches home, Mrs. Fong stops her there and again starts talking about all the rumors that were spreading around, that you are unlucky and because of you only the master died. After that, both of them even start fighting over this matter. At the same time, the governor's mother and Dongfeng's grandmother make their entry from upstairs and ask what is happening here. Meanwhile, Mrs. Fong immediately starts provoking her against Li Yun and says that first she killed your son. And secondly, I saw with my own eyes how she was trying to seduce your grandson. Both of them were inside the same room together. After that, Li Yun tries to explain that no, things are not like that. She is lying. But meanwhile, Mrs. Fong had already filled grandmother's mind against her. And after that, Li Yun's bad time had already started. Grandmother directly warns her to stay away from her grandson. From now on, I should never see you anywhere near him again. She had even decided to throw her out of the family and says that now my son is dead, so you have no right to stay here anymore. On the other hand, Li Yun was feeling extremely angry at Fong and says in her heart that I will never leave you. Meanwhile, the poor girl gets thrown out of the house. Just then, when a man tries to carry her away, Dongfong comes there and stops him. After that, he himself lifts her in his arms and brings her to his bed. As soon as he tries to check her condition, Li Yun suddenly opens her eyes. She pushes him away and asks, "What were you doing?" Meanwhile, Dongfong also gets angry and says that first I helped you and now look at your behavior. After that, when he starts taking off his clothes to change, Li Yun again misunderstands the situation. She starts telling him to stay away from her, but Dongfong tells her to move aside because I am just changing my clothes and nothing else. After that, he even says, do you want to stand here and watch me while I change my clothes? Meanwhile, Li Yun grabs him and requests that can I stay here for a few more days? Please do not send me away from here. Anyway, I am already injured right now. At least let me stay until I recover. At first, Dongfong refuses, but after that, suddenly something comes into his mind, and he gives her 1 month's time and says that fine, until you recover, you can stay here. Meanwhile, Li Yun decides to stay there as his maid only. Next scene, grandmother finds out about this matter and gets extremely angry at Dongfong. She even beats him badly and says, do you even realize that she is your father's wife? If she works in our house as a servant, then what kind of things will people say? But Dongfong replies that if we do not tell anyone, then what exactly will people even say? Still, grandmother was not ready to forgive her grandson at all. Meanwhile, grandmother had already created a huge problem for him. After that, when his assistant was applying medicine on his wounds, Dongfong suddenly asks him where can good clothes be found in this area? Hearing this, the assistant immediately replies that actually we do not need clothes right now. Dongfong just stares at him. Actually, he wanted to buy a beautiful dress for Li Yun. On the other hand, while poor Li Yun was working, Mrs. Fong again comes there to bully her and says that now you have truly become a servant in this house. So why don't you clean my shoes too? Because of helplessness, Li Yun had no choice but to do it. Meanwhile, Dongfong also arrives there while watching all this. He gets extremely angry at Mrs. Fong and even throws water on her face through his servant and says that she is my maid, so why do you need to make her work? After that, he warns her for next time, and while holding Li Yun's hand, he takes her aside. Meanwhile, The dress that he had ordered for Li-yun finally arrives. At night, Li-yun secretly sends the picture of the person with whom Mrs. Fong was having an affair into her room, thinking that at least now she will get scared. And truly, Mrs. Feng's condition becomes extremely bad. She gets terrified thinking that if everyone finds out about me and Ji-hai's affair, then who knows what will happen. Meanwhile, Li-yun's friend calls her and asks her to come meet immediately. They had already decided the location too. Actually, her friend had finally found some proof about the man with whom Mrs. Fong was having an affair. Before Li-yun could leave from there, Dongfong makes his entry while carrying medicine and tells her to quickly take it. After all, when you recover, do you not have to leave from here? Meanwhile, as soon as she takes the medicine, he even starts feeding her berry. But Li-yun was in a huge hurry to leave because her friend was waiting for her. After that, Dongfong grabs her hand and the berries fall down. Seeing this, he gets extremely angry and asks, "What is the hurry for you to leave?" Meanwhile, he holds her from behind and says that if you leave from here now, then after this I will never help you again. But Li-yun replies that fine, then do not help me. Right now, meeting my friend is very important for me. On the other hand, Mrs. Fong reaches Ji-hai with that same picture and says, "Look at this. If everyone gets this picture, then what will happen to us? Everyone will find out about our affair." Meanwhile, Ji-hai tells her not to worry. After that, Li-yun taunts him and says that you had said that after the master's death, you would become the governor. Although you are his son too, still the governor's seat is being given to Dongfong instead. Meanwhile, Ji-hai is actually Dongfeng's brother. Hearing this, he gets angry and says, "Who told you that the governor's seat will go to him only? That seat belongs to me. Just wait and watch how I take that seat from him." Meanwhile, Li-yun's friend was secretly keeping an eye on both of them. But suddenly, someone grabs her from behind and takes her away from there. Meanwhile, the place where Li-yun had decided to meet Ning was actually Dongfeng's nomination ceremony. As she was searching for her, Feng's nephew Lin suddenly comes there and grabs her. The girl was trying to avoid him, but he keeps trying to flirt with her. He even forces her to drink with him. Again and again, Li-yun keeps refusing because she was in a hurry to somehow meet Ning first. After that, Lin gets angry and even throws a drink on her from the front. Meanwhile, our hero Dongfong had been silently tolerating all this for a long time. But now his limit finally gets crossed, and he thinks that I will never leave him for that. Before Dongfong could come there, Ji-hai arrives and handles the whole situation by saying that if you want, then I can drink in Mrs. Li-yun's place. After that, he even starts cleaning the marks of the drink from her face and says that you are family to us, so taking care of you is our responsibility. Seeing all this, Dongfong burns even more with jealousy. He even tells Ji-hai that brother, she is mine. Meanwhile, in one way, he had finally accepted her in his heart. On the other hand, while standing aside, Li-yun suddenly notices that the watch Ji-hai was wearing was the same one she had already seen in the picture with the man who was having an affair with Mrs. Fong. Now she starts doubting that maybe Ji-hai is that person, but she was still slightly confused and thinks that once I meet Ning, then the whole truth will become completely clear. Meanwhile, while she was thinking all this, Dongfong suddenly comes from behind. The dress that he could not give her earlier, he finally gives it to her. But before handing it over, he even throws it on the floor and tells her to pick it up from there. Before Dongfong could say anything else, Li-yun immediately tells him that earlier you had said that if I leave the house, then after that you would neither trouble me nor come to help me again. Hearing this, Dongfong once again leaves from there silently. As he was leaving, Ji-hai hugs him from behind and says that brother, we are meeting after such a long time. Meanwhile, during their conversation, he also brings up Li-yun and asks if you are interested in her. Actually, I was asking because she seemed like a very nice girl to me. Hearing this, Dongfong immediately tells him to stay away from her. After that, seeing Dongfeng's jealousy, Ji-hai completely understands that he definitely likes Li-yun. And because of this matter, both brothers even get into a huge fight. Meanwhile, Li-yun was standing far away and watching all this herself. At this time, Li-yun's only target was Mrs. Fong. She thinks in her heart that I will definitely bring her to her final end. Next scene, during the ceremony, a painting of Li-yun's father is brought there. Seeing it, she again gets lost in memories of the past. She remembers that when she had gone abroad for studies, at that same time she got the news that Mrs. Fong had accused her family and filed a report against them saying that they were involved in smuggling and were traitors. After they got labeled as traitors, the army completely destroyed her entire family. And behind all this, only Mrs. Fong was responsible. Meanwhile, she herself became like a queen afterward and gained everyone's attention by pretending that she had done all this to protect the country. And this was exactly the thing that made Lee Yoon the most angry. Later, when she found out that her parents had been killed because of those false accusations of treason, she was completely heartbroken. After that, she had decided to take revenge on Mrs. Fong. Meanwhile, while Lee Yoon was leaving in an emotional state, Lin suddenly kidnaps her from behind. He even gives her drugs. Although someone else had told him to do this work, still he tried his best to take advantage of the situation for himself too. On the other hand, Dongfong had not seen Lee Yoon for a long time and starts getting worried about her. He immediately sends all the army men everywhere and orders them to quickly find out where she is. Before Lin could try doing anything bad to her, he suddenly hears Dongfeng's voice from outside. Hearing his voice, Lin gets terrified and runs away from there immediately. After that, Dongfong comes inside and starts checking her condition and asks, "Are you okay?" But suddenly, Lee Yoon grabs him and kisses him. Dongfong could not understand what had suddenly happened to her, but very quickly, he realizes that someone had drugged her. Meanwhile, he tries to make her drink water and tells her that I will take you to the hospital right now. But Lee Yoon refuses and says that I do not need a hospital, I only need you. After that, she pushes him onto the sofa and starts kissing him again. Next day, as soon as Lee Yoon sees Dongfong sitting in front of her eyes, she starts pretending like she does not remember anything that happened between them last night. Meanwhile, Dongfong badly wanted her to admit with her own mouth that she remembered everything that happened between them. After that, during the conversation, when Dongfong brings up her father and says that he was a traitor, Lee Yoon immediately gets angry and replies that no, nothing like that was true. Meanwhile, after coming aside, she starts thinking that just like I left Dongfong before, now leaving him again was not that difficult either. On the other hand, Ning was still missing. Before leaving, Lee Yoon purposely leaves one of her earrings there and thinks that next time, I will definitely come again to search for it with this excuse. Meanwhile, Ning had actually been captured by none other than Mrs. Fong herself. She keeps threatening her and says, "Quickly hand over all the evidence you have against us." But Ning keeps refusing to give anything, and this same thing was making Mrs. Fong extremely angry. Meanwhile, when Ning tries to attack them in self-defense, Ji-hai stops her from hurting Fong. After that, he himself slaps Ning and knocks her unconscious. Meanwhile, Dongfong had already caught all the people there and was asking who had dared to kidnap Lee Yoon at night and even drugged her. While all this was happening, Ji-hai also arrives there from upstairs and asks what is going on here. But Dongfong directly starts questioning him instead and says that actually I should be asking you all these questions. Lee Yoon was kidnapped from your place only, and she was even given drugs there. Hearing this, Ji-hai agrees to take responsibility and says that within one day, I will bring the kidnapper in front of you. Meanwhile, suddenly they hear Lee Yoon's voice from outside. She was telling the guards that my earring got left inside and I only came here to take it back. But the guards were not ready to let her enter at all. Before anyone could misbehave with Lee Yoon, Dongfong arrived there and moved the guards aside. After that, when Dongfong asks her the reason, she tells him that my earring got lost and I came here only to find it. Meanwhile, Ji-hai also comes there from behind and says that things usually do not get lost from my place. But if your earring is missing, then no problem, I will buy you a new one. Hearing this, Dongfong immediately says that it was not some ordinary earring. It was a token of my love that I had gifted to her. Meanwhile, just when all of them were about to go inside, suddenly Ning's dead body falls down from above. Seeing this, Lee Yoon gets completely shocked and even faints there itself. After that, Dongfong brings Lee Yoon back to his house. Even in her unconscious state, Lee Yoon was only taking Ning's name again and again. Hearing all this, Dongfong starts doubting that maybe Ning was the same girl who died last night. But meanwhile, Lee Yoon lies to him and says not at all. She was some other old friend of mine. But Dongfong was not ready to let her leave until she clearly tells him who Ning really is. Meanwhile, he even ties her there and says, just try moving from here without my permission. Hearing the voices of both of them, Dongfeng's grandmother suddenly makes her entry and asks what exactly is happening here. Seeing both of them so close together, she gets completely surprised. Meanwhile, Lee Yoon immediately takes advantage of this situation and tells grandmother that Dongfong has kidnapped me here. Please tell him to let me go. After that, grandmother also starts telling Dongfong to release her and asks, why are you forcefully caning her here? But Dongfong clearly refuses and says that she made a mistake, so I have to teach her a lesson. Anyway, I will handle all these matters myself. Hearing this, grandmother leaves both of them there and goes away from there. On the other hand, Lin's bad time had already started because of his aunt. Because of him only, Ning had jumped down and lost her life, and the evidence they wanted still did not come into their hands. Meanwhile, Jihai was also extremely angry at him and says that you were the one who kidnapped Lian, right? And now look, Dongfong is starting to suspect us. If he starts an investigation, then we will definitely get caught. Before Jihai could beat Lin, his aunt stops him because obviously she loved her nephew a lot. She tells Jihai that he made a mistake, please forgive him, and keeps trying to calm him down. Meanwhile, she even kisses Jihai in front of Lin himself. Anyway, Lin already knew about their affair. In this way only, he somehow saves himself and secretly runs away from there. Meanwhile, Dongfong wanted to feed food to Liyun with his own hand, but Liyun keeps refusing and says, just let me go once. Fine then. Ask me whatever you want to ask, and I will answer everything. In return, she tells him to make her favorite food. After that, Dongfong unties her. Actually, Dongfong already knew what her favorite food was because she had once been his girlfriend. Meanwhile, he himself cooks food for her with his own hand. Next scene. Both of them are shown eating together. This same food used to be the favorite of her mom and dad too. After that, Liyun starts telling Dongfong the story of her family. But before that, she secretly mixes drugs into his drink so that he cannot hear anything properly, and at the same time her promise also gets fulfilled. Meanwhile, she starts talking about Fong and says that she used to work as a dancer in a club. But when my mother saw her, she felt very bad for her. She accepted her like her own younger sister and brought her home. Then one day, my father was extremely drunk and accidentally spent the night with Fong. And after that only, all the problems started. Later, Fong falsely accused my family of smuggling and illegal activities. Because of those accusations, my entire family got completely destroyed. At that time, I had gone abroad for study, and later, I found out about all these things. The drugs had affected Dongfong very badly. He could barely understand anything that Liyun was telling him. Still, Liyun thanks him for spending good time with her and says that I do not know if things between us will ever become like before again or not. After that, Dongfong falls unconscious. Before Liyun could go to Feng's room to kill her and says that today I will finish you and myself too, only then my revenge can be completed. Dongfong suddenly comes from behind and stops her. He tells her that if you kill yourself, then how will you ever prove that the accusations on your dad were false and that he was innocent? In this way, your entire life will pass and everyone will keep thinking of him as a traitor only. Hearing this, Liyun becomes emotional and realizes that yes, I should not end my life yet. I still have to prove my father innocent. Actually, the drugs had not affected Dongfong that much. He had already realized that Liyun had mixed drugs in his drink, but he cleverly did not drink the full glass, so now our hero had found out her entire story too. Next day, Lin faces Jihai's anger in front of Liyun and Dongfong. Jihai was punishing him and saying that what you did with Liyun was extremely wrong. Meanwhile, seeing all this, Fong was not happy at all and thinks that why does this unlucky girl interfere in all my matters every single time? Before Fong could raise her hand on Liyun, Dongfong immediately stops her and says just try touching her once. Meanwhile, Liyun completely understands the whole situation and suddenly comes forward to help Lin instead. Now she starts taking Lin's side only. First, she thanks Jihai for punishing Lin because of her. And after that, she says that now please stop torturing him. Anyway, my anger toward him is already over. Whatever he did it by mistake, but next time, he will not repeat it. Saying this, she quietly moves aside. Meanwhile, Liyun's sudden behavior shocks both Jihai and Fong. They start wondering how she suddenly changed this much. This girl is definitely planning something. But Dongfong had already understood her entire plan. He tells her that now you want to trap Lin so that he reveals his aunt's secrets in front of you. In this way only, you will be able to complete your revenge against Fong. Liyun openly admits that yes, absolutely. Other than this, I have no other choice left. Now I will use Feng's nephew against her only. Meanwhile, Dongfong was fully ready to help her in taking revenge, but in return, he wanted something from her too. Hearing this, Liyun gets slightly nervous and asks, what do you want? After that, Dongfong closes the door and takes out the dresses he had brought for her. Then he tells her to wear them right in front of him. Liyun says, fine, I will wear it and show you. but you will have to turn the other side. Dongfong agrees. But coincidentally, the mirror was facing toward her side, because of which he could clearly see her reflection. At first, Dongfong gets completely surprised while looking at her, but suddenly, he lowers his eyes. Seriously, he is so sweet. Meanwhile, Li-yun looked extremely beautiful in that dress. After that, Dongfong tells her to stay ready in the afternoon because both of them are going out together for lunch. Saying all this, Dongfong leaves from there to fulfill her wish. Meanwhile, from now itself, both of them had started working on their plan about how to trap Lin. On the other hand, the owner of the casino from whom Lin had borrowed money comes there to attack him and demands all his money back immediately. Lin keeps asking for some time and says that let me just go to my aunt once. I will take money from her and return it to you. But meanwhile, the casino owner directly cuts Lin's hand with a knife and says that this is your punishment. And if you do not return my money, then I can do even worse than this. After that, Lin runs away from there. Next scene, we find out that the casino owner did all this only because Zen had ordered him. And Zen himself had done it on the orders of his boss, Dongfong. On the other hand, after finishing their work, Dongfong and Li-yun finally arrive at a restaurant for lunch. Meanwhile, Dongfong personally serves the food that he had prepared for her. Li-yun quietly starts eating the food. By now, she had already realized how much Dongfong cared about her. During the conversation, Dongfong starts talking about the old times when both of them used to go on dates together. He tells her that you have changed a lot, but Li-yun did not want to talk about these things at all, so she immediately stands up to leave from there. But Dongfong stops her because he wanted everything between them to become like before again. But Li-yun did not want this to happen. Meanwhile, when Dongfong comes close to kiss her, seeing the cold look in her eyes, he immediately steps back and asks, "Why are you looking at me like this?" At the same time, Zen suddenly arrives there and informs Dongfong that the work you had ordered is completed. Hearing this, Li-yun immediately leaves from there. According to the plan, she goes to ask about Lin's condition. Since his hand was injured, she even starts cleaning his wound with her handkerchief and asks what happened to you and who did this to you. Meanwhile, our hero Dongfong was standing far away and burning badly with jealousy while watching Li-yun care so much for Lin. Lin keeps thanking her and also apologizes for troubling her earlier. On the other hand, Dongfeng's jealousy reaches its limit. He grabs Li-yun's hand and pulls her back into the restaurant and asks, "Why were you looking at him the same way you used to look at me before?" Meanwhile, Li-yun tries explaining to him that I was just pretending. I was actually very angry. But Dongfong suddenly breaks a glass and intentionally injures his own hand. Then he asks her if she will care for him the same way she was caring for Lin. Now all this goes completely beyond Li-yun's patience, and she asks, "What exactly are you trying to do?" Still, she bandages his wound and says, "Look, the way I am acting in front of them, I cannot act like that in front of you. They are enemies, so I can fool them, but I cannot fool you." Even after hearing this, Dongfong leaves from there angrily. Meanwhile, Lin finally comes to his aunt to ask for money, but his aunt directly refuses and says that I do not have that much money. Meanwhile, Li-yun was secretly watching all this, and right behind her our hero Dongfong also arrives there. He just keeps sticking around her and follows her everywhere she goes. On the other hand, Lin clearly tells his aunt that if you do not give me money, then I will reveal all your secrets. After that, we find out that Lin had killed Ning on his aunt's orders only, and the drugs that were given to Li-yun were also given because Fong had ordered him to do all this. Hearing this, Fong immediately starts slapping him to shut his mouth. But Lin grabs her hand and says that now it completely depends on you whether you give me the money or not. After that, he gives his aunt 3 days' time and leaves from there while threatening her that if you do not give me money, then just wait and see what I can do against you. Meanwhile, Zen suddenly calls out to the governor from upstairs, and hearing this Fong immediately gets shocked thinking, is someone here? On the other hand, Dongfong and Li-yun also get scared that oh no, Fong should not find out that we were spying on her. To hide themselves from Fong, Dongfong suddenly grabs Li-yun and starts kissing her. Before Fong could come there, he had already hidden Li-yun properly, because of which Fong could not see that the girl Fong was kissing just now was actually Li-yun herself. Meanwhile, Fong goes to Ji-hai to ask for money. Ji-hai already knew that she was asking for Lin only, but he refuses to give her any money. In fact, he had already made a full plan to kill Lin because he knew too many of their secrets and that was dangerous for them. But Fong keeps refusing because she loved her nephew too much. After her repeated requests, Ji-hai finally agrees and says fine, I will not harm him. Meanwhile, as soon as Dongfong enters the room, Li-yoon immediately tries to leave from there. But Dongfong grabs her hand and asks, why are you trying to avoid me? After that, leaving this topic aside, Dongfong comes to his real point and asks her that today, the way I helped you, should you not thank me for it? But Li-yoon replies that look, you helped me by your own choice, so why should I thank you for that? Dongfong then says that no matter what, I still helped you, so should you not repay me? Hearing this, Li-yoon says fine, then tell me how should I repay you? After that, she suddenly brings her face very close to his and says okay, if you want to kiss me, then you can. Seeing this, Dongfong gets extremely nervous and immediately steps away from her. Meanwhile, Li-yoon notices this whole reaction very carefully. Now she was enjoying teasing Dongfong even more. Meanwhile, Dongfong quickly tells her to leave from there and says you must be tired, so go and take rest. And Li-yoon also runs away from there. Meanwhile, Mrs. Fong sees Li-yoon coming out of Dongfeng's room. Now Fong could not understand what exactly was going on between Dongfong and Li-yoon. Surely there must be some different story between them. But one thing she had clearly noticed was that ever since Li-yoon entered this family, she had continuously been creating problems against her. So now she decides that she will ask Ji-hai to investigate Li-yoon's entire background. Next scene. When Fong was secretly leaving the house, grandmother suddenly arrives there from upstairs and catches her red-handed. Today, Feng's bad time had truly arrived in grandmother's house. In the same way she had beaten Li-yoon badly in the beginning, today Li-yoon had completely taken her revenge on Fong. Meanwhile, Li-yoon was feeling extremely happy while watching Fong getting beaten and thinks that this is only the beginning. Just wait and watch what else I will do to you. After that, we are shown a flashback scene of when Li-yoon had gone to meet Lin. During their conversation, the topic of money suddenly comes up. Meanwhile, Lin starts revealing all his secrets to Li-yoon. He even tells her about Ji-hai and Feng's relationship. Lin also reveals that his aunt had asked Ji-hai for money because of him, but Ji-hai refused to give it. Meanwhile, Lin had already told Li-yoon that Feng was planning to steal from the house. Suddenly, Li-yoon gets an idea. She immediately goes and informs grandmother that tonight, a theft is going to happen in your house. And in this way only, Mrs. Fong gets caught red-handed. Meanwhile, today their plan had become successful. So at night, Li-yoon and Dongfong are shown celebrating happily together. Suddenly, Li-yoon tells Dongfong that now there is no one left who can repay Lin's debt. If you help him with this matter, then whatever questions you ask him, he will answer all of them honestly. After that, Dongfong asks her that fine, if I do all this for you, then what will you give me in return? Saying this, he directly starts kissing her. And with this, the scene cut. Next day, Lin had called a man to meet him, but that man suddenly shoots him. Before he could harm him even more, Dongfong suddenly makes his entry from behind. As soon as Li-yoon checks Lin's condition, she tells Dongfong that he is still alive. Meanwhile, while both of them were talking about this, the attacker again tries to shoot Li-yoon. But before anything could happen, our hero once again comes in front and protects her. For now, they quickly had to help Lin, so both of them take him to the hospital. Meanwhile, Dongfong gets treatment for the injury on his hand. After that, when he asks Zen about Lin's condition, Zen gives him the good news that Lin did not die and he is alive. On the other hand, Li-yoon brings medicine for Dongfong. She even scolds him a little and says that what was the need to take a bullet because of me? But deep down, she knew that whatever he did was absolutely right. Anyway, Dongfong wanted to protect her in every situation. Meanwhile, as soon as Li-yoon tries to pull her hand away and leave, suddenly pain starts in Dongfeng's hand. Immediately, she gets worried and asks if it is really hurting that much. Both of them come extremely close to each other at that moment, but suddenly Ji-hai makes his entry there. Actually, he had already found out that someone had attacked Dongfong. The flowers he was carrying were specially brought for Li-yoon. As soon as he gives them to her, Dongfong gets completely burned with jealousy after seeing it. Meanwhile, when Ji-hai walks outside, we finally find out that he had truly investigated Li-yoon's entire background. He had learned that when Li-yoon's family was going through terrible conditions, she had gone abroad for studies. He also found out everything that happened afterward. And the biggest thing was that Dongfong had completed his studies from the exact same school where Li-yoon used to study. After finding all this out, Ji-hai realizes that Dongfong wants revenge only for Li-yoon Yun's sake. But Ji-hai could never allow something like this to happen in his life. On the other hand, as soon as Yun starts leaving with the flowers Ji-hai had gifted her, Dongfong immediately snatches those flowers and throws them on the ground. Meanwhile, his jealousy still was not stopping at all. Seeing this jealousy of his, Yun starts laughing a lot, and this makes Dongfong even more irritated. Next day, Ji-hai once again arrives at their house. He had brought pastries and sweets for grandmother, and along with that, he had also brought food specially for Yun. During the conversation, he suddenly brings up Yun's father and says that yes, he was called a traitor, but I actually used to like him a lot. Meanwhile, Yun finds out that the painting Ji-hai had bought that day was actually made by her father. As soon as she talks about it, Ji-hai immediately says that if you like that painting, then I can gift it to you. But before he could continue, Dongfong cuts the conversation in between and says that she does not understand anything about painting, so it is better if you do not gift it to her. But Ji-hai was not the type to step back. Instead, he directly invites Yun to dinner with him and says that later I will come myself to pick you up. Saying this, he leaves from there. Meanwhile, Dongfong keeps trying to stop Yun from going and tells her that this can be dangerous for you. But Yun replies that stop taking decisions for me. That painting is very important to me, especially because it belongs to my father. I want it at any cost. Hearing this, Dongfong grabs her and makes her sit on the sofa and says, now let me see how you leave from here. At night, Ji-hai sends many dresses for Yun to wear to the dinner and tells her to choose whichever one she likes and come wearing it. Seeing all this, Fong gets extremely irritated. She comes there just to trouble Yun and starts criticizing her badly, saying who knows with how many men you are involved. But no matter what Fong said, none of it affected Yun at all. After that, Fong goes to Ji-hai and asks why he bought so many clothes for Yun. Meanwhile, Ji-hai comes close to her and teasingly asks, are you feeling jealous? Anyway, you do not need to worry about all this, because very soon Yun is going to move out of our way herself. Hearing this, Fong immediately goes silent. Meanwhile, Dongfong finally allows Yun to go to the dinner, but he keeps one condition that she must not wear the dresses and jewelry sent by Ji-hai. But what could Yun even do? Since Ji-hai had sent those dresses specially for her, she had to wear them and go. As soon as Yun leaves from there, all the remaining gifts and clothes lying there make Dongfong even more jealous. In anger, he orders Zen to burn all those things immediately. Meanwhile, Yun looked extremely beautiful in that dress. Even Ji-hai could not stop himself from praising her. He even says that our choices are exactly the same because this dress is also my favorite one. After that, he directly asks Yun to stay with him instead, but Yun refuses. Ji-hai then asks her that anyway, you are already staying with Dongfong, so what is wrong with staying with me too? Hearing this, Yun replies that fine, I can stay with you, but then what will happen to Fong? Hearing this, Ji-hai starts laughing and says that if you want, then I can leave her too. Meanwhile, he also warns Yun and says, look, I know very well that you came here to complete your mission, but if you try doing anything smart, then you will not even remain worthy enough to visit your father's grave. Hearing this, Yun finally realizes that Ji-hai already knows whose daughter she really is. Meanwhile, while both of them were talking, Dongfong suddenly makes his entry there. Yun was not scared of Ji-hai at all because she knew that now Dongfong was the governor here, and Dongfeng's authority mattered much more in this place. After that, Dongfong tells Yun to come with him, but as soon as she stands up, Ji-hai stops her. Meanwhile, Dongfong had arrived there with his military force. Seeing so many guns around him, Ji-hai gets completely nervous. Finally, he gives permission for Yun to leave with Dongfong. Meanwhile, Dongfong takes all of Yun's belongings and keeps them inside his own room. He tells her that from now on, you will stay in front of my eyes only. I know exactly what you were trying to do. Just imagine if I had not arrived there on time, then who knows what Ji-hai could have done to you. But Yun tells him to stay away from her matters and tries to take her belongings away. Meanwhile, Dongfong was equally stubborn and says that once I decide something, then I never change it. Meanwhile, Dongfong gets completely trapped between his own stubbornness and Yun's stubbornness. Sometimes he carries her luggage outside and then again brings it back inside, but Yun still refuses to listen. So finally, Dongfong forcefully picks her up and brings her directly onto his bed. And unfortunately, grandmother sees this whole scene. She immediately shouts Dongfeng's name loudly. Grandmother gets extremely angry and says that I had already warned you to stay away from that girl. She absolutely did not like that Dongfong wanted Yun to stay with him. But Dongfong replies that if you cannot ignore all these matters, then fine, I will leave this house with Yun herself. Meanwhile, grandmother did not want this either. After that, Dongfong tells grandmother to stay away from his matters and directly leaves from there. Meanwhile, when he comes back, Lian had disappeared again. So once again, he picks her up and brings her back into his room. Lian wanted to leave from there, but Dongfong had already become stubborn and says that once I say no, then no means no. After that, he tells her that there is danger outside, and I cannot put your life at risk like this. He even handcuffs her again. Meanwhile, Lian finally gives up and says, okay fine, I will not leave from here. Then Dongfong gives her only limited freedom and says that once this danger passes, only then I will properly let you go free. Lian also promises that now she will not leave anymore. After that, Dongfong removes the handcuff. At night, we see Lian sleeping on the bed while our hero Dongfong was sleeping on the sofa, but his eyes were only fixed on Lian. He was lovingly watching her the whole time. Meanwhile, as soon as Jihai finds out that now Lian was properly staying with Dongfong, it becomes very difficult for him to harm her anymore. Hearing this, Jihai gets extremely angry and starts wondering what exactly he should do now. Next day, Dongfong was sitting in his office doing work while Lian was lovingly staring at him. Meanwhile, Dongfong tells her to stop staring at him now, but Lian replies that what can I do? I am getting bored. So Dongfong tells her to arrange the files properly there. Meanwhile, while she was arranging the files, Dongfong suddenly pulls her toward him and makes her sit on the table. Then he says that yesterday when I saved you from Jihai, you still did not repay me for that. After that, he moves close to kiss her, but Lian pushes him away and says that I am arranging your files, and that itself is enough. Hearing this, Dongfong suddenly remembers their old school days. He hugs her from behind. Both of them were about to come even closer, but suddenly Zen arrives there from upstairs because an emergency had happened. Meanwhile, before leaving, Dongfong tells Lian to lock the door and not open it for anyone. After that, he leaves with Zen. But then grandmother comes outside and keeps asking Lian to come out because she wanted to drink tea with her. Now what could Lian even do? Since grandmother kept insisting again and again, she finally ignores Dongfeng's warning and comes outside to sit with her. But grandmother had actually tricked her. At the same time, Jihai suddenly arrives there and grabs Lian's hand, wanting to take her away with him. Lian tries to escape, but getting out of Jihai's grip had become almost impossible for her. Meanwhile, Jihai had just brought Lian outside when Dongfong also arrives there with his army. Seeing Dongfong, Lian feels extremely relieved and immediately runs toward him and stands beside him. After that, Dongfong directly warns Jihai and says that from today onward, she is my girl, and very soon I am going to marry her too. Next time, if you even try touching her, then nobody worse than me will exist for you. He even bans Jihai from entering his house again. Meanwhile, Jihai leaves from there with an embarrassed face. After that, Dongfong brings Lian back to the room, and Lian immediately asks him what exactly was all that you were saying to Jihai about me being your fiancé? Dongfong replies that yes, it is true. Anyway, very soon I am going to marry you. But Lian immediately says that this will never happen. You may scare others with your gun, but I am not going to get scared. Dongfong calmly replies, then do not be scared. But once I say something, I never take my words back. Next scene, we are shown another girl with grandmother whose name was Maid. She had specially come there to meet Dongfong. Suddenly, Maid collides with Lian. She gets surprised and asks, what is this girl doing here and who exactly is she? She does not even look like a servant. Before Lian could answer, grandmother explains everything herself and says that she is Dongfeng's father's wife. I felt pity for her, so I allowed her to stay in this house. Meanwhile, Mei introduces herself to Lian and proudly says that I am the daughter of the commander-in-chief and also Dongfeng's fiancé. Hearing this, Lian gets completely shocked because Dongfong had never mentioned this to her before. After that, Mei even tells Lian not to dress up like this because anyway, you are a widow. Hearing this, Lian replies, fine, then tell me how exactly should I dress? Soon, a huge argument starts between both of them. Meanwhile, Mei suddenly slaps Lian and says, how dare you even talk back to me? After that, she angrily leaves from there because she was scared that Dongfong might start liking Lian. Little did she know that those two already loved each other deeply from before. On the other hand, Zen was guarding Lin in the hospital. Meanwhile, a stranger suddenly enters there dressed as a doctor. Zen thinks that he must really be a doctor, but the moment that man enters, he directly kills Lin. By the time Zen realizes the truth, it was already too late. He gets extremely panicked and starts worrying about what they should do now. Meanwhile, as soon as Fong finds out that her nephew was in Dongfeng's custody, she immediately wants to meet him because he was her only nephew and she loved him a lot. Hearing this, Dongfong gets shocked and asks, "How did you find out that he was in my custody?" Meanwhile, Lee Yun also overhears this entire conversation. She feels hurt thinking why Dongfong did not tell her that Lin had regained consciousness. She immediately runs toward the hospital to check him. Meanwhile, another shocking news was waiting for Lee Yun there. She finds out that Lin had died. After that, Dongfong also comes to know about this matter. Even he was feeling bad thinking that Lin should not have died so suddenly. But meanwhile, Dongfong asks Lee Yun what she came there for. Lee Yun replies that she had only come to see Lin. At the same time, she even gets slightly angry at Dongfong and says that you already knew he was in your custody, and still someone killed him here without you even finding out about it. Meanwhile, Dongfong notices that maybe Lee Yun was upset because of May, so he starts assuring her and says that you do not need to worry about May. I will never marry any other girl except you. After that, Dongfong even gifts her a gun and tells her that I cannot protect you every single moment. From now on, you will have to do something for your own safety too. Meanwhile, he even starts teaching her how to use the gun. But suddenly, Lee Yun points the gun directly at Dongfong and says that you lied to me. Actually, when Lin had regained consciousness and was in your custody, you never told me anything about it. Right now, Lee Yun was feeling that maybe Dongfong was secretly supporting his own family and protecting them. Meanwhile, Dongfong keeps trying to explain to her that nothing like that is true, but Lee Yun continues getting angry at him. After that, she fires some shots, although she intentionally shoots them to the side. But suddenly, everyone starts feeling as if Lee Yun had really shot Dongfong. Meanwhile, someone else was actually hiding in the grass nearby, and that person was the one who really shot Dongfong. Seeing Dongfong in such condition, Lee Yun completely loses herself in fear and pain. Next scene, Zen starts investigating the whole matter and angrily says that our governor loved you so much, and still you did this to him. But meanwhile, Lee Yun keeps thinking that I never shot Dongfong, so who could be behind all this? After that, Zen starts telling her what happened when Lin regained consciousness and how Governor Dongfong met him. With this, we are shown another flashback scene. In the flashback, Dongfong had gone to meet Lin. Meanwhile, Lin keeps begging and says that I do not want to die. Dongfong replies that fine, it all depends on your performance now, on how much truth and how many lies you tell me. After that, Lin starts revealing everything and says that yes, it was truly Mrs. Fong who accused Lee Yun's family of treason, and all the evidence had been changed by them. But the real big boss is someone else. Mrs. Fong and Ji-hai are only pawns. Meanwhile, Dongfong asks him where the warehouse is where all this illegal work was happening. Lin tells him that it is in Zhang Village. After hearing this, Dongfong immediately orders Zen to go to Zhang Village and find that warehouse, because we will definitely catch them. And with this, the flashback ends. Meanwhile, Lee Yun asks Zen if they found out who the real big boss is, but Zen replies that no, for now we still do not know. The investigation is still going on. On the other hand, Lee Yun was extremely worried about Dongfeng's condition because he still had not regained consciousness. Meanwhile, Zen already knew that someone else had attacked Dongfeng, and they were still searching for that person too. Hearing all this, Lee Yun becomes emotional and wants to go see Dongfeng, but Zen refuses to allow her. Meanwhile, on the other side, we are shown Fong and Ji-hai together. Actually, it was Ji-hai who had arranged for Dongfeng to be shot. Fong also knew about this matter, and she was not angry at him at all. Ji-hai had even gotten Lin killed, and Fong knew that too. After that, Ji-hai receives a letter from the military saying that Dongfeng's condition was not good, since the governor's position had to stay within the family, and Ji-hai was the only one left in the family now. He becomes extremely happy thinking that now he will become the governor. Meanwhile, when Ji-hai tells Fong not to come meet him from tomorrow onward, she suddenly gets scared because Ji-hai's intentions now seemed completely different. Actually, Ji-hai had decided to trap May, the commander-in-chief's daughter, in his own net and marry her. He thinks that if I marry her, then my chances of becoming a governor will become even stronger. After all, Dongfeng had only become governor because the commander-in-chief loved him the most and wanted his daughter to marry him. Hearing this, Fong becomes extremely angry and asks Ji-hai if he really thinks of himself as a true son of this family. Meanwhile, now we finally find out that Ji-hai is actually the adopted son of the family. The governor himself had adopted him. After that, Ji-hai tells Fong to leave from there, but Fong stubbornly refuses and says that I will not go anywhere. I thought you loved only me. Hearing this, Ji-hai suddenly grabs her neck and starts choking her. But after that, he lets her go again and warns her that if you do not leave from here, then I might do something very terrible. Meanwhile, because her throat had already been strangled, Fang's condition becomes even worse. And just when she was leaving from there, suddenly someone comes from behind and kidnaps her. Lian finally gets permission to meet Dongfong. Emotionally, she apologizes repeatedly after learning the truth from Zen that Dongfong was never supporting his family, but protecting her. She admits she misunderstood him and even tried to harm him, and says he can punish her however he wants when he wakes up. She adds that she won't even complain if he never speaks to her again, then falls asleep holding his hand. Next morning, Lian notices Dongfong holding her hand and tries to wake him, thinking he may have regained consciousness, but he doesn't. Mei suddenly arrives, slaps Lian, and questions her relationship with Dongfong. Lian calmly replies that she should ask him when he wakes up, then leave. At the grandmother's birthday, the commander-in-chief arrives and announces that since Dongfong is still in a coma, Ji-hai will become governor. He even suggests Ji-hai's marriage with Mei. Mei is shocked since she loves Dongfong. At that moment, Dongfong suddenly appears fully conscious, shocking everyone, especially Ji-hai. He brings evidence proving Ji-hai tried to kill him to become governor. A witness also confirms Ji-hai hired the assassin. Ji-hai denies everything, but the commander-in-chief believes Dongfong and accepts the proof. Ji-hai's appointment is cancelled, and Dongfong is again chosen for Mei's marriage proposal, which makes Mei happy. However, Dongfong denies any relationship with Lian in front of everyone, deeply hurting her. Later, Dongfong confronts Lian, gives her his gun, and tells her to shoot him if she still doubts him. He says she never trusted his love and always thought he could hurt her. Heartbroken, he decides to cut ties with her, though he cannot truly let her go. Dongfong continues the investigation alone. It is revealed he had regained consciousness earlier, learned Ji-hai was the attacker, and worked with Zen to stage Fang's kidnapping to uncover the truth. Fong confirms that Ji-hai and she were only pawns, while the real mastermind behind the crimes is Commander-in-Chief Mr. Chen. She also defends Ji-hai, saying he was never loved by the family and was always overshadowed by Dongfong. Meanwhile, Ji-hai is confronted and punished by the commander-in-chief, who accuses him of betraying the family and trying to seize the governor's position. Ji-hai keeps apologizing helplessly. Meanwhile, Ji-hai keeps apologizing and admits his mistake. He says he has done a lot for the commander-in-chief and asks for forgiveness. The commander-in-chief's heart softens and forgives him, but tells him to leave the city forever and never return. Lian worries about Fang's disappearance and asks a maid, who also confirms she hasn't seen her. Lian fears Ji-hai may have captured or killed her. Soon, Lian unexpectedly meets Dongfong and Mei. Mei wants revenge on Lian for always challenging her. She orders Zen to punish Lian in front of her, while Dongfong stays silent to maintain his cover and get close to Mei's side. Zen lightly hits Lian, pretending to punish her. Ji-hai secretly watches everything. Dongfong is worried, but Zen reassures him Lian is fine. Dongfong visits Lian in the hospital. She wakes up and tells him to punish her if he wants, but asks him to find Fong. Dongfong gets angry, but assures her Fong is safe and in his custody. Lian feels relieved, but still wants to see her. On the way back, Ji-hai confronts Lian and offers a partnership, saying he wants revenge on Dongfong because he was always ignored in comparison. Lian doesn't respond immediately. Dongfong meets Mr. Chen, but Chen refuses to help unless Dongfong marries his daughter. At home, Dongfong warns Lian to stay away from him, but Mei suddenly arrives in a wedding dress. Lian tricks her into falling, and Mei nearly slaps her, but Dongfong stops her. After Mei leaves, he praises Lian's boldness. Ji-hai, furious at Lian's refusal, decides to use her to trap Dongfong. Zen informs Dongfong that Ji-hai has kidnapped Lian and demands Dongfong come alone. Dongfong rushes to save her. Dongfong counters him, revealing Ji-hai's past crimes and betrayal. Lian escapes during their fight and urges Dongfong to leave. Dongfong shoots Ji-hai before skating with her. Lian now understands Dongfeng's plan involving Mei and Qin and decides to fight alongside her. Dongfong is injured, but recovers while Leon cares for him. They finally confess their past misunderstandings. Leon sought revenge for her family, while Dongfong suffered after their breakup. They reconcile and decide to face their enemies together. Dongfong and Leon secretly continue their mission while hiding their relationship due to Mei and family pressure. Zen worries about Dongfeng's risky action. The grandmother pushes for Dongfong and Mei's marriage, making Leon jealous. Dongfong teases Leon, and she admits she would be in Mei's place if possible. Mei interrupts and Dongfong hides Leon. Later, Dongfong takes Leon to see Fong. Leon confronts Fong about past crimes. Fong justifies killing Ni. Lion takes her revenge. Dongfong comforts Leon, promising to destroy their enemies together. Dongfong learns from Mei about Yen's connection to Mr. Chen. They plan to use Yen to uncover the truth. Leon takes the lead and secretly records evidence. She meets Yen, who behaves inappropriately. She slaps him when he crosses the line. Dongfong arrives just in time and saves her, preparing for confrontation with Yen. Dongfong severely beats Mr. Yen. Leon gets emotional and hugs him, saying she is forced to suffer everything. They now have all the evidence and wait for the right moment to expose Mr. Chen as a traitor to the public. Mei suddenly arrives searching for Dongfong, so he and Leon hide in a cupboard. It is revealed Ji-hai is still alive. Dongfong believes he will meet him again someday. Ji-hai demands Leon's location, but Dongfong refuses. He sends Mei back safely first, then interrogates Ji-hai and warns him to confess or die. Ji-hai refuses, saying he will never reveal Leon. Flashback. Zen informs Dongfong that Ji-hai survived and now knows about the evidence against Mr. Chen and wants it. Dongfong tells Leon to escape with the evidence and give it to a reporter who can expose Chen. Leon is shocked why he isn't come. Dongfong says he has unfinished matters and they will meet again. Even when she points a gun at him, he stays firm. Next day, Mr. Chen brutally tortures Dongfong, demanding Li Yun's location and evidence, but he stays silent. Chen warns he won't spare him. Ji-hai comes to rescue Fong, but she kisses him, takes his gun, and kills herself, saying she knew he would hurt her again. Ji-hai is devastated, realizing she was the only one who truly understood him. Leon reaches the reporter, but he refuses due to Chen's power. Ji-hai checks the box and finds no real evidence Leon hid it. He threatens her using Dongfeng's captivity. Leon demands to meet Dongfong first. Seeing Dongfeng's condition, Leon is heartbroken. He tells her not to give up the evidence. She agrees to meet Chen herself instead. Leon meets Mr. Chen and demands Dongfeng's release first. Chen praises her courage. Before he takes the box, she suddenly attacks him. Next day, Dongfong and Leon are seen together. The public learns the truth about Mr. Chen and Ji-hai, and their crimes are exposed. Leon asks who saved Dongfong. He jokes that she must marry him first, then puts a ring on her finger and explains. Zen helped Dongfong escape prison and informed him Leon went to Chen. Dongfong arrived with the army, killed Mr. Chen, and Ji-hai also died. Leon is released. Suddenly Mei attacks Dongfong. Mei, if she can't have him, no one will. Leon takes the bullet meant for him. Zen stops Mei. Dongfong is devastated, but Leon survives as the bullet hits her pocket watch. They reunite, finally free of all enemies and hardship. In the end, they are together forever.